Welcome to Monsters Conquer the World. I'm Matt. I'm joined by Ralph. Basically, it's a podcast where we yak about monster shit. I'm a dyed-in-the-wool kaiju super fan, and Ralph brings a fresh set of eyes and insightful perspective to this creature feature chaos and monstery bullshit.
Yeah, I know nothing about this.
Well, you know lots of stuff.
No, I'm
Smart,
learning.
Smart,
I'm learning.
sharp dude.
Oh, no, thank you.
Don't
But I know
sell
nothing
yourself
about kaiju.
Sure, this junk food genre that my brain has fixated on.
Yes. It's great, though. It's good junk food.
Actually,
This is not a moon pie. This
No.
is a Twinkie. This is
a deep-fried Twinkie.
A deep-fried Twinkie. Yep.
Maybe dipped in chocolate.
Yeah, you took it right to the extreme that it needed to go to. Yeah.
You know, I almost hesitate to call it junk food and maybe more like comfort food.
Yeah,
like
it's not junk.
Good pot of mac and cheese with like some hot sauce dumped in there. Yeah, right?
And the bread crumbles on top. Yup.
Yeah, and so I hesitate to call it junk food.
Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes, yeah, the most important meal that you share with your family once a year. But this time we're talking about Gamera versus Jiger from 1970. As the title might have hinted, it's a Gamera film. And Ralph, this is your second Gamera movie?
Yeah, I don't even remember what the one was that I watched before, but you showed it to me.
Yeah.
Were there a bunch of... No, I always mix that up with the Godzilla one where there's a ton of monsters, but...
Right.
Yeah, I just remember Rocket Turtle.
It's so good.
When we watched this movie, I went, yeah, okay. It's still Rocket Turtle, and there's nothing more going on here. They just wanted to make a movie about a Rocket Turtle.
Fuck yeah, dude. What else do you need?
I think the last one was... It had a knife head bad guy.
Yes. Oh, that's... Yeah. Gamera versus Guiron. I was going to say, what the fuck one did I show you? Because I couldn't remember. And then I felt bad about, why would I not remember? Because, this is...
Well, we were watching it just for leisure. It was just like, hey, Matt, I don't know anything about these movies. Do you want to show me one? And you showed me that.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That's probably my favorite Gamera movie, full stop.
It was really fun. Yeah. And this was really fun too.
Well, this is my second favorite Gamera movie. So it's just fun. It's that big pot of mac and cheese with hot sauce in it. And it's that's all there is to it. But that's all you fucking need, man.
Right. And no nutritional value in there either.
Well,
it's just,
dairy is, calcium's good for your bones.
It's not a bad thing. It's just I just think that's how I process these movies. Is they're I'm so used to Godzilla where there's something maybe under the surface, maybe not, and then this is just straight up, just what would a kid want to see?
Yeah, yep. Gamera just says, "Fuck it,
yeah,
let's wrestle."
And Gamera is for the children, so it's perfect.
He's the friend of all children. Mm-hmm. So before we make the kid protagonists of this movie and get up in Gamera's guts, I do want to give a quick thanks to our amazing patrons. First, big welcome aboard for Chelsea. Chelsea, you gave us money.
Oh,
you fucking lunatic! What were you thinking?
You got scammed.
Yeah, you done goofed.
Yep.
Just piles of cocaine here in the studio. We're a couple of Tony Montanas.
Yeah, you're going to want to take that back as soon as possible.
But you can't.
Nope.
Can't do it.
Nope. So, thank you.
Yeah. And I'm also going to give it up to our early adopters, Riccio and Shelley, too. I will keep blowing up all of your spots until I legally can.
Until we cannot fit them in.
Which, maybe...
Ideally, yes.
Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much, guys. You are the hottest shit of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Will we add that in post, or?
Depends on how this sounds. If I hear it and I'm like, no, that's fine.
No, we nailed it.
Yeah, then
our mouth noises were.
Yeah. It's just all about, listening back, seeing what's there.
Yeah. Ooh, the process.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to let you
technical with.
I don't
Ralph.
want to let you into that too much.
Now, one thing that came up while we were watching the film, because we watched this one together, and I really like that. I'd like to do that as much as possible, but
In the same room.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. And watching this with you was a fucking joy because every time Gamera was on screen and vocalizing, you vocalized along with him.
I couldn't help it because Godzilla makes a distinctive sound.
Yes.
And
A unique sound that you cannot
unique
hear
sound.
in nature.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what it is. Somebody does, but it just sounds like
It's
totally Godzilla.
It's a resin coated glove being rubbed down a contrabass and then manipulated.
That could be real.
Yeah.
And I would never. Is it?
No, yeah, that's what it is.
It seriously is?
Yeah.
I thought you were making it up as you went.
No, that's it.
Okay, so that's what that is.
That's Godzilla, yeah.
And Gamera just sounds like a guy going, "Oh!" And his eyes are bugging out of his head.
And
like-
they're a little bloodshot and
Yeah.
glowing.
"Oh!" And he's like, and when he makes this sound, I felt compelled to make it back.
It's
I
impossible.
feel what you're feeling, Gamera. Yeah.
He got to you.
And I don't even remember Jiger's sound, but I was doing his too. It's
Yeah.
just like, it's...
Could you, I know you don't remember the sound, but like, what if you took your best crack at it?
I seriously don't remember. It was akin to something else that I do. But it was like, "Wah!" or something like that.
I think that's pretty close. I want to see if I can pull up Jiger's roar. YouTube keeps insisting. Oh, there we go. I don't know if this'll
YouTube
work.
has a very good library of like all these. That was a lot more accurate than I thought.
You were pretty fucking close, dude.
Pretty close.
Oh my god. This is the best genre in the universe. They don't need to make other movies because we have these movies.
Yeah. These are just. They're so much fun to watch, and it was kind of a relief that there was nothing really going on. No depth. You know?
don't have to sit there and rack your brain and try and dig
Yeah.
for meaning. We were talking about it after the movie, and I think with this flick in particular, there's a little teeny tiny something that they're saying about like, hey, maybe don't fucking rob
Right.
people's cultures. Like maybe don't steal their shit
Yes.
to put it on display somewhere.
But
but that's
as
even
important
pretty
as that is to say, they didn't like really make that a
Right.
thing in this movie. They sort of pay some lip service to it.
barely.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's just a relief when a movie is like that, where it's
Yeah.
like they don't go too heavy. And I like my heavy stuff too, but like these movies, Gamera specifically, has been like professional wrestling for me.
Yes. Yeah.
And you billed it as pro wrestling when you tried to get us to watch Kaiju in the first place, but
Yeah.
it's like these are totally, it's all about the fights.
Yep.
And there's story to keep you in there, but like this is pro wrestling and it's sweet.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get I was doing some, story beat calculus, and we get 3 fights with Gamera and Jiger throughout the
cool.
movie. And it's like each act break gets a dope fucking fight. And
Yeah.
that's like, that is the meat and potatoes of these movies. And when I write about them on the blog, there's this idea, or I guess this phrase that I borrowed from horror movie special effects, where they'll call a specific thing a gag.
Yeah.
Like instead of, a set piece or whatever, they'll say, oh, for this gag, we had to load up squibs and we had, half a fake arrowhead come out of Kevin Bacon's chest, blah, blah, blah. And Gamera movies to me work kind of in a similar way, where what they lack in beautiful miniatures and lifelike suits, they make up for with these fucking crazy gags.
Yeah.
where like the second fight with Gamera and Jiger. And Gamera's just holding Jiger by the tail and just swinging her up in the air and slamming her down bodily. And she's like, of course, she's rigor mortis so that this can happen. But it's crazy. It's so much fun. And you get a little bit of that in Godzilla movies, especially the later 60s and 70s movies, because they saw what Gamera was doing and said, oh, we need to be doing that.
Yeah.
Because Gamera started off as the shitty knockoff of Godzilla, but then after a couple movies, Gamera started doing better at the box office than Godzilla, and they're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
I said it a couple times. They know where their bread is buttered.
Yes,
and it's just in like wild fights.
Yep.
They were all really cool. And just. I don't feel like in another movie, I don't feel like in a Godzilla movie, Godzilla will become impregnated by one of the other monsters and have to abort the little fetus or whatever.
Yep. So part of why this movie stands out to me is because halfway through, it becomes a Fantastic Voyage / inner space kind of thing. Where a couple 10-year-olds are tasked with aborting a monster baby. Yep. This is a real thing that happens in a real movie, and it's fucking nuts.
Yep. Sam Cooke starts playing, and a couple of children go into a giant monster, and all the adults are like at home base.
Yep.
Just like waiting for those kids to get back. The kids want to do it the most, so we should just let them go and do it.
Right. They're already in a tiny submarine. They're already halfway there.
Stole the sub. Just let them do it.
It's fine. It's the 60s, man. No helicopter parents. It was a different time.
I know. I jumped the gun on the impregnation.
It's hard not to.
Yeah, it just pops out in my mind.
When I wrote about it on the blog, I think I fucking dropped that in the introductory paragraph, because how do you not?
Yeah, it's a good way to like
and
get the hooks in.
And before we watched it, I purposely did not reveal which Gamera movie we were watching on the Discord, and I made sure not to tell you anything about it, because I'm like, Ralph cannot know. I have to preserve this insanity for Ralph.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that, Ralph?
It was cool. It was not. It actually reminded me of Star Trek when they're in the monster.
Yeah.
It just maybe the set reminded me of that in the time period, but like it seemed like something they would do on Star Trek where they have to like abort a fetus for an alien race. Right,
some horrible space creature.
Yeah.
It's very Star Trek, and of the Gamera films, this one I think the most looks like a Wes Anderson movie constantly by accident.
There was a couple of scenes where I think I said something to you. I was like, wow, that's really beautiful. Like I love the what do you call it? Soundstage. Like the whole soundstage vibe to some of the town.
Yeah. It looks great, and this movie does that cool 60s thing of not having the protagonists live in a perfect suburb. It's kind of this grungy kind of industrial area that they live in, and I dig that.
Yeah, it was cool.
Ralph, let's talk about Expo 70.
Expo 70. You're gonna have to remind me some things about Expo 70.
So, Expo 70, according to this movie, is the most important fucking thing in the universe. And if anything threatens Expo 70, it must be destroyed.
Right.
It was a World's Fair that was held in Osaka. And,
man, we all remember Expo 70. We were all there.
All right. Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, not a day goes by when I don't sit back and think, man, Expo 70.
That was a good time.
That was some choice shit.
Mm-hmm.
The corn dogs.
The corn dogs and the
devil's whistle.
Giant pregnant monsters.
When Gamera gets non-consensually pregnant, and he turns crystalline and white, I always think of a bit from... Did you ever watch the Sarah Silverman program?
I didn't.
Does
I think I saw
anybody
one of them.
remember or care about that show?
Yeah, actually some people I knew like loved it, and I just never watched it.
It was really weird, and it
she's,
was...
sorry, she's very what do you call it? Not controversial, but just like...
Oh, she's edgy, for sure.
Yeah, she tends to like split people when it comes to comedy stuff.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, she's kind of a love it or hate it type of comedian.
Right.
But she had a bit on that show where she sang about, quote, white dog poop from the 70s. And that burned into my brain forever and ever, because when we didn't grow up in the 70s, but like when we were growing up, I remember seeing white dog poop.
Yeah.
And it's not around anymore.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And I did some digging on this because it broke my brain for a second. And the best theory I could lock down was that the ingredients used in dog food have changed. And so whatever was the primary ingredient in dog food back in the day had this weird effect of making the dog poop white.
So you didn't come back with the ingredient that it could have been? Like you just like what generally stuff back
the
then?
mix,
okay.
The formula or whatever was different. There might have been a specific ingredient. I didn't commit that to memory.
Something that's not legal anymore, perhaps.
Oh shit! Yeah, it was just asbestos and fiberglass.
Right, exactly.
But so whenever a monster or whenever anything turns white like this, but specifically in this movie, all I can think is, damn, Gamera's turning into white dog poop from the 70s.
Yep.
Like, that's how you know he's really hurting.
Yeah. Same thing happened to E.T.
Yes!
So,
perfect example. And he looked like a regular turd to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you know shit's gone bad.
Yep.
If your fantastical creature starts to look like white dog poop.
Oh, E.T., by the way, that'll tie into Chucky later.
Oh, it sure will. Gonna just tease it right now. Very excited. Our Shadow episode is all about the new Child's Play movie, and you're gonna want to tune in for that.
So, back to Gamera.
Oh yeah, so we joke about like, oh, Expo 70, it's the most important thing in the galaxy, but the reason why we bring it up is, one, the movie does kind of open with like this very obvious commercial for Expo 70, like they start listing off like times and dates and shit, like come see it. And it's like, bro, it's 2019. I don't think I can do that.
Oh, it was like a fake commercial.
It was like an ad.
Now. Yeah.
And I mean, it's product placement, and product placement when it's for something that doesn't exist anymore is extremely like endearing to me. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
The 98 Godzilla movie is plastered with ads for Blockbuster Video and Josta, the first energy drink.
I remember Josta.
Yeah, man.
I never had any Josta.
I don't think I did either.
Josta and there was Surge.
Yes.
And
I was more of a Surge boy.
Yeah, I drank a bunch of Surge, and I have no feelings about it. It's just like...
You're not nostalgic, Ralph?
Well, it was just soda.
90s kids remember Surge.
Okay, but they called it an energy drink, and we call it that now, but it was just soda.
Was Surge billed as an energy drink?
Something like that.
I know Josta, because Josta had like guarana and shit in it.
Josta was
it had that
supposedly really strong.
It had that panther on the logo. Mm-hmm. That was a dope fucking logo. They should bring Josta back.
Yeah, you know what? They probably didn't have the name energy drink at that point, but I think that they were just like headed in that direction.
Oh sure. Well, yeah, because Surge's whole thing was like more sugar, more caffeine.
Well, yeah, it'll make you good at extreme sports. That's what Surge was trying to say.
It won't give you diabetes. It'll just make you very good at skateboarding.
Yep.
That's how pop works. This is a Michigan podcast. We call soda pop. Pop, 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 pop.
I called it soda earlier, but...
I use soda. I've noticed this about myself because I've started really paying attention to when I say pop or not. I will say soda if I'm talking about a generic fruit-flavored pop. So I'll say, oh, do you want some orange soda? Do you want some grape soda?
Oh, when it's part of the name.
Yeah.
But
Otherwise,
otherwise,
just pippy pop.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No cola, no Coke.
Well, no, I'll call it Coke a Coke. Don't get me wrong.
Call it Coke a Coke, but some people just call everything Coke.
Those people are psychopaths.
Wrong.
Yeah,
Yes.
how dare you?
Yeah.
Give me an orange Coke. No. I'd rather you didn't.
Orange Coke. You fool.
So Expo 70 is a big deal, and they're gathering up exhibits. All the different countries of the world have built these weird looking pavilions. You pointed out it looks like Disneyland. Which is interesting, Ralph, because I'm going to put on my theme park nerd hat for a second.
Oh, okay.
And tell you that World's Fairs were a major influence on Walt Disney when he was creating Disneyland and Disney World.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Epcot, right?
All that shit. Like, It's a Small World debuted at like the 1963, whatever year New York did a World's Fair. Okay. It's a Small World was there before it was in Disneyland or wherever.
One of my favorite rides the last time we went was called the Home of the Future or the Family of the Future. I forget which, but it's just one of those lame-o, like talking robot.
Oh yeah,
things.
Animatronics.
Thank you, animatronics. I don't know. I just really liked how quaint and fun it was, and no one was on this ride with us. There were like 3 of us.
It's like the Hall of Presidents. Like, everybody wants to go on Splash or Space Mountain. They don't want to learn shit.
Oh, I love Space Mountain. It's fucking
it's a classic.
Sweet.
Yeah,
but I don't know. There's just something about it, just like you never see animatronic shit anymore at all.
So good.
And for it to be like to have anything to say at all.
Yeah.
Like it did have sort of comments on like how families and homes have evolved over time. And it's been saying that for roughly 70 years, but still it like
unchanged.
Felt really cool to me now.
Ralph, was this by chance the Carousel of Progress?
Carousel of Progress is cool.
I know too much theme park bullshit.
Yep.
To me, theme parks are like, what if a video game was a thing you could actually go inside? Like it's analog virtual reality, and I find that very exciting.
Yeah. So Expo 70 does not seem like that, though. It just seemed like we're gonna bring all our food and put it in the same place.
It's like a tech and culture expo. And so all the countries of the world are like, here's our flashy bullshit. Here's our art. Here's this. Except there's also a statue coming in from Wester Island. Get it? Instead of Easter Island?
Oh, yeah.
The Devil's Whistle!
Okay.
Which it's totally cool to steal something called the Devil's Whistle from an island. Nothing bad will happen.
No.
Right?
No.
That's fine.
Well, no.
Except it's not!
I actually didn't remember the Devil's Whistle thing.
Oh, yeah. No, Ralph.
That's what started it.
Yeah.
I just thought, big statue. Okay.
And that's what fucking ends it, too, because remember Gamera stabs her in the fucking cranium? That's another thing. I'm going to spoil it. I don't care. It's amazing.
Yeah. Just watch it
it's
before
so good.
this.
Please watch this movie.
Yeah.
It's the end. Flash forward to the end of the film. The kids and adults are at a safe distance cheering on Gamera as he fights Jiger. Like, yeah, do it. Get her, use your fire breath. And the fight's going how it's going, and then Gamera picks up the statue, the Devil's Whistle, and he looks, I'm exaggerating a little bit, he looks at it, and we get a tight shot on Gamera's face, and something evil has percolated in his mind, and his fist grips around this thing, and then he just fucking launches it like a javelin. Thank you. Directly into Jiger's, between the eyes, right in the fucking brain. And the kids, who seconds ago were like, yay, are horror struck. They just shitting their pants as gouts of pink blood spurt out of this creature's fucking face. And it's a kid's movie.
There's so much blood in this.
For kids.
For a children's movie, there's so much blood.
Yes.
In this movie.
Which is awesome.
Yes.
We need to go back to making children's movies like this.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to wait until then for the gore, because when the scientists, when the Expo 70 crew are using their rocket choppers to uproot the sprawl, Gamera shows up. They fly off with the statue. That awakens Jiger.
Mm-hmm.
And they fucking sprawl. Sprawl's not a word. I wanted to say spat and brawl.
Yeah.
At the same time, and it wasn't
just
quite a word.
missed the mark a tiny bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, yeah, sprawl is just like urban sprawl. That's a different. It could mean something, right?
That's all right, man. We're just talking.
We're just shooting the shit.
We're just trying to figure it out together.
Oh, yeah. We're in this. Oh, thanks, Ralph. We're in this
Yeah.
together. No, this first fight is badass because Jiger comes out swinging. Jiger kind of looks like a triceratops, but without the frill. She's got all the spikes coming out of her face.
A lot of tusks.
Yeah, tusks for days.
Yeah.
And she got like sticky goo hands like a frog. Like
gross.
suction cups.
Yeah,
and
really gross.
She's kind of covered in like lesions or something.
Yup, absurdly gross. Actually, the first time I saw her, I'm like, that's disgusting.
She's the best.
Yeah.
I love her so much. And she's a gal. There's not enough girl monsters.
Not enough girls with lesions out there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're probably out there.
Yeah, well, not enough.
We love you.
Yeah, anyway.
We can't all be Jiger, just with our lesions free and breezy.
Jiger's made that way.
Oh, yeah.
If they weren't there,
Hashtag
I'd be
woke up
worried
like
about
this.
Jiger. But I'm not worried about Jiger. Everything's fine. They're totally healthy. Okay.
Especially when she shoots tusks out of her face into Gamera's arms and legs and like stigmatas him.
Yeah.
So he can't pull in his arms and legs. Like shit starts popping off immediately. Jiger, do not play.
That's like, yeah,
That's
the
end
middle,
of movie shit.
Yeah, middle or like close to the end. That's when you stigmata
And we get
the
this
main
shit
character.
in Act 1.
Yeah, and he just falls over.
Yeah. He's fucked.
And you think the movie's probably close to over. What doesn't he just
He
like
flops
power
over
out
on
of
his
it?
back.
But doesn't he just like at some point he's just like, I don't want these in me anymore, and finds his way out?
Yes, he finds a rock and taps one out of his
one
arm
out. Okay.
by taps one out, rubs one out real quick.
Right. But
He just yanks spears out of his arms and legs.
right. Yeah, and once he gets one hand free, then he starts pulling him out.
Yeah.
But I thought he got him out of his legs first, didn't he?
Oh, maybe.
Because he rockets away and then
That's
pulls him
right.
out of his hands.
As he's flying, he pulls him out. Because, god damn it, Gamera don't play. He is so fucking bad. Like, Gamera is great because he gets his shit wrecked every movie. But he gives it just as bad as he gets it, which is so exciting to watch. He does some nasty shit. Like we said, he took a sacred statue and domed her with it.
Yeah, he's something else.
He don't fuck around.
Yeah.
And I forgot about this until I watched it with you, but Jiger's got face rockets. Like that's how she gets around. Remember that? She got behind her jawline.
Behind her, yeah. She has like gills that shoot fire.
Yeah, she just fucking flies around face first, like the weirdest and worst ski-doo of all time.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, man. It's my favorite fucking thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You want to just jump to the next fight?
Yeah.
I mean, what else is there really?
There's nothing in between besides excuses for the next fight.
Yeah. Yeah, we get some exposition, I guess. The characters kind of catch us up on what's going on.
Yeah, but the next fight is where it starts getting real for me.
Yeah. Well, in the next, so Jiger is heading towards where the statue is, which is Osaka.
Yeah.
Gamera gives chase because that's what Gamera do. And they start duking it out in the city. That's when we get the delicious tail grab, and he just fucking slams her against the pavement.
Yeah.
At one point, he gets seesawed through the air and goes headfirst through a building.
When he takes her by the tail.
Yes.
Like a bouquet of flowers that he was about to go on a date, got to the front door, knocked on the door, and no one answered. And he said, fuck! And he slammed those fucking flowers on the ground.
Oh, that's such a powerful image, Ralph.
That's how he slammed Jiger to the ground. Just grab her by the tail. So that's how I...
Yeah.
What were you saying?
That's potent.
I don't know what you were saying.
How did we get here?
Yeah, I
got lost in this.
I took
in
it
this
to a really
mini-fiction.
emotional direction.
Yeah. I could feel the palpable disappointment and rage.
Oh, that's never happened to me, but
this extremely specific thing I just laid out
really
in graphic
hasn't.
detail.
It hasn't. But anyway,
I believe you. I believe you.
I've never been on a date.
Neither of us have. That's why we do this podcast.
All right.
Wah, wah. Oh. We dorks.
Yep.
I do want to quick shout out. There is one thing before the fight, and that's they just let Jiger loose in the city, and she just fucking stomps around, causing mayhem. She shoots her booger spears at fighter jets, and they stick in the jet and they explode.
Always fun.
And her like the bridge of her nose lights up, and she shoots this arcing orange beam of sound. They try to sell it as like ultraviolet sound or something, and that comes up later.
It's like orange sherbet.
Yeah.
Just coming out of her nose in a big arc.
Yes.
And then when it hits the ground, it just sticks there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it seems to do different things every time she deploys it. Like sometimes it'll wipe out a whole city block. And then sometimes it'll just skeletonize like 3 dudes.
Right.
It'll Mars attacks a couple motherfuckers.
For Gamera, it just mildly cooks him.
Right. Until he jams telephone poles in his ears so he can't hear them anymore.
Oh my God.
And that's not even the most disturbing visual in this movie. Like, he crams this shit into his ear holes. When he pulls them out later, you can see he stuck them in way too deep.
It's like he took 2 Q-tips and stuck them in like to the other
as far as they would
cotton end of the Q-tip. Like, imagine that feeling, and you're fighting at the same time.
In the middle of a fight, you decide, hang on, I needed to do permanent damage to my eardrums.
Oh my God. That's why he's screaming all the time. Everything he does. It doesn't matter if he's happy or sad.
Everything hurts.
Yeah, he's in constant pain.
Turtles weren't meant to walk upright.
Yeah, but this is the fight though where he gets pregnant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets that great bouquet slam in.
Yeah.
And Jiger says, nah, actually fuck that. Suction cup fingies, and she gets him up on his back on top of her, and her tail has an ovipositor.
That's a real term? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I think this is something insects do. But her tail has the special boner spike that pops out, and instead of shooting spooge, it shoots a horrible monster egg into his lungs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's steamy content.
In there. So I missed part of it gets in his lung, and then it hatches in his lung. But he just freezes immediately.
Yeah, so that part is so we don't know at the time that Jiger has empregged our boy. We just know that he gets stabbed, then he gets up with this faraway look on his in his face, like, I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to do anything anymore. And then he just sadly walks through town and just fucking flops face first into the water, and then white dog poop.
And then and you still don't know what's happened to him, but
right. Oh yeah, no, dude. They fly a special plane over him that has an X-ray camera question mark?
Weird
And-
stuff.
And they zap him and they rule out cancer. I love that. They're like, well, it's not cancer.
Well, it's not Gamera cancer.
It's like, oh, thank God. We don't have to give Gamera chemo.
They,
It'd be such a different and sadder movie.
I thought the first time we watched this, I thought you said that he gets into his shell and like heals or something.
Well, in a lot of... this one is kind of the outlier, because in a lot of the Gamera movies, when he gets his ass whipped,
Yeah.
a lot of times what he'll do is he'll go to the bottom of the ocean and kind of sleep it off.
Oh.
And in this movie, it kind of breaks the formula. He doesn't really get a chance to do that because Jiger did something much worse to him than any other opponent has done.
Yep.
She is truly a monster.
The worst thing you can do to anyone is get them pregnant.
Yep.
Right?
I mean, non-consensually
Right.
is pretty bad.
Well, definitely.
It's not like Gamera had baby fever that we know of.
No. I can actually guarantee that he didn't.
You interpreted the screams.
Right, yeah.
You're pretty plugged into
Right.
what those all mean.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if someone got pregnant and
Oh, no.
you wanted to not be pregnant anymore,
Mm-hmm.
of course the first thing you would do is send 2 children into them on a submarine.
Yeah, duh.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
I'm still so taken with the fact that they just like let the kids do this.
Well, that's a Gamera staple, and it's because they're kids movies, so like the kids have all the agency and the kids do all the adventuring. And this isn't even the first time we specifically had a Japanese kid and a white kid go on a submarine adventure together, but the stakes are way the fuck different this time.
Okay, but like the Goonies, right?
Yeah.
But the Goonies did that without adult approval.
Right.
And in this, the adults are in the command room or whatever, just being like, I hope these kids can pull this off.
Right. It's not even like they checked with mom and dad. Mom and dad are there and gave the okay, but so are generals and scientists and,
Everyone.
of course, whoever's running Expo 70.
All our hopes are riding on you, kid.
Yeah, Leslie Nielsen pops in. And
oh, yeah. We're all counting on you. I don't know.
It just, when the content is what it is in Gamera versus Jiger, it takes on a different pallor.
Yeah.
Fucking dope pallor. It's awesome.
So Gamera's pregnant at this point, and then they send in the kids, and the kids see a little Jiger.
Well, yeah, they cruise around in there. They almost go down into the tummy, into the stomach.
I just thought of this.
Yeah.
Do you have a little Jiger in you?
Ooh.
All right, let's move on.
That's Jiger's number one pickup line. She's just always...
Yeah.
That's what... When she was going, ah! That was what she was saying. and Gamera would say...
No.
Just anything to get you to make those sounds, honestly. Like... There's... Yeah. One thing, too, before we get too far up into Gamera's guts... When the scientists are ruling out cancer, they one scientist is like, "Hey guys, check out this thing that I saw once," and they cut to him with an elephant, and the elephant's trunk is horrifyingly bulbous.
Yeah,
bulbous. It's got this. It's like a fucking basketball got lodged in this poor animal's trunk.
It's like a basketball or like a big barrel of root beer and trying to suck it up, and it just got stuck in his trunk.
It flew right up in there.
Yeah.
And oops. And the scientist man says, now this elephant was infected with some parasites, and what we had to do was make an incision and just physically remove the parasites.
Just fucking worms in this elephant's trunk.
The movie decides we need to see this, and they slice the bitch open, and it's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
It's like when Oogie Boogie gets cut open in in Nightmare Before Christmas and all the worms spill out.
But so much
But it's
wetter.
real life.
It's so wet.
Yes, it's a real elephant and it's real footage.
Except, thank Christ, like it's a real elephant, but the growth and the worms and stuff, that is just horrifyingly good practical effects.
Good, because I seriously thought that was real.
I thought that for a long time, and I was so relieved when I found out that was not real.
Okay.
Because motherfuck.
Yeah.
Is
It's
nasty.
really, really, really
It's
gross.
It's so jarring because like the rest of the movie has like a great fun look to it, but Gamera doesn't look that real.
Yeah, but again, children's movie, and we're performing surgery on an elephant.
Yeah. Well, and that's an interesting point with the Gamera movies, and even a couple of the Godzilla movies when they started leaning into like, oh, it's kid stuff. They would try to work in like an educational element, and I think that was the intent here. But I like it better in other movies when they're just like, these are planets. Look at this planet. Here's a nebula. Like, that's how the other educational ones do it.
Yes.
Just talk to me about space, man. I don't need to see a fucking nose full of worms.
Oh, boy.
It's good.
I'm glad that you brought that up because I think I forced myself to forget it.
Yeah. Let's jump forward. Baby Jiger. Little baby Jiger.
Baby Jiger inside Gamera.
Yes. And it shoots jizz out of its face.
Oh, yeah. Like silly string sort of jizz.
Just big gloppy loads.
Yeah.
Fired at these young boys. And they find out that radio waves heard it. And so they've got that big phone walkie-talkie and they just chuck it at it and they fucking ice them.
Yeah, and that's all it takes.
Yeah.
But that's good to know.
Yeah.
Relevant information for later, right?
Yeah. Correctamundo. Yeah, they bounce out and they're like, cool, we definitely just murdered a baby and we feel awesome about that.
Yeah, you know what? Adults, hey, we're back. We are the 8 to 10-year-olds that you sent into a giant monster. We're back, we survived, but we did have to kill a baby to do it.
And we will need a lot of therapy to get over this.
Right.
But it's it's the 70s. So maybe they could get some therapy. I was going to say in the 60s, there's no way they could get therapy.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, I mean, they could, but it probably wouldn't work very well.
Well, the bummer is that after all that, Gamera is still full on white dog poop. What
For
the fuck?
a little while, right?
Yeah, they throw jumper cables onto his heart and run about 7 million volts through him.
Put some juice in there.
Yeah. Juice him up.
And then he comes back to full color.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. No more white dog poop.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Sarah Silverman. We're done with you.
Okay.
Go
Yeah.
on, get.
I have nothing against her.
Oh, I don't either.
I don't think.
Do you?
I'll check. I mean, anybody anymore.
Let me
it's
check
just,
my notes.
anybody.
Oh, shit,
I
who
got
knows?
better look up what they've said and done.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll wait. We'll
hold off
wait
on
to weigh
endorsing Sarah Silverman.
The last I checked, everything was okay.
Right.
Fuck. Oh, God. We live in a weird nightmare world, Ralph.
Yes, we do.
But yeah, they zap him back to life. They come up with a plan to thwart Jiger with their radio wave stuff. I don't know. I get a little lost in the sauce here because this is when they start talking about shit like how people from tropical climates are weak in cold weather.
Boy, do
and
they.
Eskimos are weak in tropical
They
weather. And it's
certainly do say that in this movie.
yo, dog, what the fuck are you saying to
Yeah,
me?
what the fuck are you talking
What does
about?
that mean?
Therefore, this characteristic of the transceiver tends to weaken the monster, just as tropical people become weak when they go toward a northern, cooler climate. And Eskimos react the same way to a warmer southern climate.
They said
How does that relate to sound waves?
it doesn't. It's just
It's just weird.
people
It's just
from
filler.
tropical climates are weaker when they go farther north.
Like they're Pokemon.
Do Pokemon do that?
Well, like if a fire type goes against a water type, it's going to be weak against the water type moves.
Yes. I think Is there's something about you might weigh more certain parts of the Earth?
Whoa, really?
I'm fairly sure. I might have to look that up and remind myself, but
Do you mean like
that maybe like a translation thing since we were watching a dub?
That's true. It is important to note we watched the dub.
Yes, we did watch the dub because for Gamera it's like, well, I'm probably not missing too much meaning here.
Well, and at this
I'd like to know what the fuck they meant by that. And if it was just like
it might have
garbage or
I think it's just pseudoscience. Like,
yeah, I'm going to look that up. You keep talking. I'm going to look that up.
Well, I was going to say the Gamera films I don't think ever got drastically changed when they got dubbed. It's not like, and even the Godzilla movies after the first few, they at some point realized like, oh, we can just translate this. We don't need to change a bunch of shit. Like, it's still a movie. And so yeah, I with Gamera, I think this is just some funky fucking pseudoscience, which is, and it's
sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
It still does not translate to strength whatsoever. But this is from NASA. It says the effective acceleration of gravity at the poles is 980.665 centimeters per second per second. Yes. Yeah. While at the equator, it is 3.39 centimeters per second less due to the centrifugal force. If you weighed 100 pounds at the North Pole on a spring scale, at the equator, you would weigh 99.65 pounds, or 5.5 pounds, or 5.5 ounces less, rather.
So Santa, when he comes down from the North Pole, he's a little more spry at the equator.
Right, which is why he has to eat the cookies. He's got to maintain an exact weight of 10,000 pounds everywhere he goes.
Because Santa is canonically a kaiju.
Yes, Santa is...
he's about 300 feet tall and...
Mm-hmm.
An eldritch abomination. I think
if you
half
broke
of the Lovecraft books are about Santa.
Right. If you broke Santa down scientifically, like his joints would not be able to support his weight.
Oh, sure. Square cube law.
Yeah, just like when people bring that up for King Kong or whatever.
Right, yeah. Yeah, he's too big. He couldn't survive.
That's Santa, too.
Yeah.
He's disgusting.
Up. Oh, it's horrifying.
Everyone hates him.
Just...
Oh, he's disgusting. So, wait. Okay, you were saying something and I was looking something up.
Oh, yeah. So, what I was getting to before, because that little nugget they just nonchalantly throw out there that like, oh, Eskimos are weak at the equator. What the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
But the point that they're trying to get to is that Jiger's nose beam is like a sound weapon, and an opposite sound frequency will fuck her up. That's why it killed the baby. And so,
right, and they also said that opposite was just lower pitch.
Right. Well, and you, as someone who knows things about sound, was like, that's not... Yeah.
Right, and I'm like, that's probably just translation too, right? Every time I watch one of these movies, I'm like, it's translation, I hope. I hope it's translation.
No, it's just a B-level monster movie from 1970. So they set up this perimeter of like speakers that are blasting these sounds at Jiger to try and slow her down. Gamera shows up. They duke it out. It's fucking awesome. There's kind of a chilling shot where Gamera flies by the hammer and sickle because apparently the Soviet Union or somebody had a pavilion at Expo 70.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I could have swore that Gamera grabbed the hammer and sickle and like fucked up Jiger with them, and I was really excited about that.
Did not happen.
That's not a thing. I think I might have been thinking of the city fight earlier when he picks up like a smokestack and deflects her nose javelins and then throws the whole thing at her face.
Yeah.
Because one thing that we kind of realized on this viewing is that Gamera will just like... He'll fight dirty. He doesn't give a shit. He
wants to win.
It's the monster equivalent of grabbing a beer bottle, breaking it against a table, and slashing at somebody. Like, he'll just do that shit.
Yeah, he'll cut you.
He don't care.
Yeah,
it's so tight. But yeah, they duke it out. So much crazy bullshit happens. You get the telephone poles, the statue in the head. He starts rolling on his side at her. there's a chase where they're kind of chasing each other for the statue and like flying around and shit. And it's just, I don't know, man, it's just magic. Like,
it's it's just all the fighting in the movie is just great. And they always do something unexpected during the fight, which is just what makes it fun. Like picking up the other monster by the tail and just slamming it onto the ground.
It's so delicious. And so Gamera stabs her in the dome. Everyone's horrified because they didn't sign up for that, I guess. He just grabs her by the tail and flies off. Like the end screen is him lugging a corpse through the air.
Oh, yeah, it's bad. It's as horrifying as anything in any horror movie I've seen.
But what makes it special, what puts that extra piquant flavor on it is just the constant reminder that this is a children's fantasy film.
Yes, it is.
It's not a horror movie. It's not even trying to be a horror movie. But yo, holy shit.
Did they rate movies back then in Japan?
That's a great question. I know that when this movie came to the States, it didn't go to theaters. It went straight to TV. So it, like, I mean,
it probably
in
wouldn't have been
1970,
at all,
no TV ratings yet.
This is a TV movie? It's really good for a TV movie.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine being a kid in 1970 and you're flipping around and like, oh shit, it's a Gamera movie.
Yeah, it probably cost
brand new one.
Shitload of money just to put on TV.
Yeah. Yeah, for Gamera.
Like to make that for TV.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't mathematically work out.
Oh no, because it got released theatrically in Japan, but just nobody in the States wanted to
hear
distribute.
it was a TV movie.
Right.
Oh,
yep.
okay.
Yeah, nobody in the States wanted to, for whatever reason, put it out in theaters, which is kind of weird because out of all the original run of the Gamera movies, this one made the most money at the box office.
Weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a fucking banger.
Yeah, I got nothing to say about that. That's crazy.
Good fucking flick.
Yeah,
That's kind of it.
We're at the point of like thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah. What'd you think, Ralph? This is Gamera number 2 for you.
I definitely liked Guiron, right?
Yeah.
I liked that one a little better.
Sure.
Because it's a knife head.
He's so good. He's such a good monster.
He's
like
so wild.
Gamera's Rogues Gallery is almost as good as Godzilla's. In some ways, maybe it's better. I don't know.
I think
he got great villains.
The monsters themselves are wilder, I think.
Yeah,
to me.
they're fucking crazy.
Because they're just like all of these different kinds of horrifying put together into one monster.
Yeah. They're just out there. With Godzilla monsters, a lot of times they're going for some level of verisimilitude where they're like, oh, this is like this is an undiscovered dinosaur, or this is an undiscovered giant insect. And Gamera's like, fuck that, what's cool?
Yeah, but I mean, Mothra looks like a moth.
Yeah.
Godzilla looks like a big Tyrannosaurus Rex, sorta. And
Rodan looks like a pteranodon.
Yes, like they basically look like stuff that you have seen elsewhere, but this is a weird Elysian-y, tusky lizard thing.
Yeah, nobody's ever seen a Jiger before.
Yeah, like Gamera itself is a turtle with rockets in it. Like if it pulls in its legs are replaced by rockets.
Yeah, he can fly like a UFO.
Right.
Yeah.
And it can spit like
he breathes
just
fire.
crazy shit.
It's fucking nuts.
If they weren't all giant monsters, it would be like they wouldn't even put these movies together. In the same genre. It's just like because they do completely different things. They have completely different functions as movies.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, we gotta watch. We'll have to watch the other Gamera movies because they're all nuts.
Yeah.
The one thing that's interesting to me about Gamera is we've talked about it a ton already, but the gore. There's just every monster is just spurting different colors of blood. Like Jiger's is pink, Gamera's is green. I know somebody's got blue. Like they did everything except red because they're like, look, parents, it's not red blood. Who cares?
There was red in the credits. Do you remember that?
Yeah, when they flash back to him killing Gauss, I think.
Yeah.
The vampire bat. Yeah.
It had red blood.
And it's interesting because when the Gamera movies started when the very bloody, outrageous Gamera movies started making more money than Godzilla, all of a sudden, Godzilla's like, I can bleed too.
Yeah.
Blit, blit, blit. Like the late Godzilla versus Gigan, I believe I might be wrong about this. If it's not the first movie where Godzilla bleeds, it's the one where he bleeds fucking outrageously.
Yeah.
Because have you seen Gigan before?
No.
He's a big punk rock chicken fish from outer space with a buzzsaw belly and hook hands.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
So that bitch gonna make you bleed.
Yeah, that speaks to me.
We gotta watch that one, dude.
Yeah.
Because that one is a tag team wrestling movie.
I like
straight
that.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I've seen 2 of these.
Yes.
Where do you rank it?
So out of the original run because the original run of Gamera movies and the later 90s trilogy are pretty different. In that the original run of movies, they're just like, I mean, you've seen 2. That's kind of what they're all like. They're fucking buck wild. They're ostensibly kids movies, but they're like super gory fight movies.
Yeah.
The 90s movies are good. Like,
Oh, really?
like I don't know if this is controversial or not, but the Gamera movies of the 90s to me are better than the Godzilla movies of the same time period.
Okay.
The storytelling and the special effects are both better.
Well,
Which is
I'm just going to
fucking
take your
weird.
word for it, really.
We'll
yeah.
watch some of those. They're fresh as hell, but Gamera versus Jiger is not my favorite of the original run because I think that's Gamera versus Guiron because it's fucking incredible.
That was really
but this
good.
is like,
this
is probably number 2.
Well,
me.
okay. We're going in order then.
Yeah, kind of, sort
We
of.
need to watch one that is absolutely just like you can barely watch it next time. Just like,
Well,
and then we just riff on that.
oh yeah.
Because this was like good enough and like just empty enough that there's not a ton to say about it besides recounting all of the cool shit that happens.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But something that we could really like rip apart, that might be fun too, in the future.
That might be
If people have an interest in that, because we're going to start kind of kicking it out, I think, to like, if you guys have ideas, like, well,
yeah,
why not?
Yeah, hit us up on the Discord or however you want to yak at us.
And I know our friend Will had a few good ideas for like cryptids and stuff. If we ever want to get back into those,
Have I told you that my mom and dad are somewhat conspiracy theorists?
You have, and I want to hear more.
That might be something we could dig into because they've told me some weird shit about Antarctica. That might even be. That's less. Well, no, there is a secret Russian octopus that has killed people.
Oh,
and I need to do a lot more.
Spy-topus?
Well, I don't know if they have it under control or if it's just like in lockdown.
Is it
Russia.
a robot or is it a real?
I think
an octopus with like
as far as I know, it's
implants.
It's a giant badass super octopus that they just found, and it's huge and kills people.
But no brain implants.
Well, I don't know. I haven't done the research yet, Ralph. I'm gonna have to dig in and
we need to do the research.
We got it. Okay. I'm gonna make a mental note.
Yeah, have your parents send you the chain emails that they got.
They're YouTube conspiracy theorists. Okay,
we've moved on.
Right, it's a different class now.
Yeah, we're in the upper echelon now.
Oh yeah, we're into the real shit now. No,
I'm starting to like take more interest now in QAnon. Even though I've had a sort of awareness of it, and I've probably been more interested than some people would think is healthy, but like it's adapted.
Yeah,
QAnon has just adapted so quickly to every single thing that has happened. It's we need to talk about this some other time. But
I was gonna say you might. I've heard of QAnon, and recently it seems like they're saying that Robert Kennedy faked his own death to frame Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, there's
or something.
some wild shit with the Kennedys.
I've never actually known what QAnon is.
His his son,
Okay.
JFK Jr. They think that JFK Jr. is still alive.
Okay. He's the Kennedy that faked his death.
I'm not sure if they have a Robert Kennedy thing too, but
Okay.
JFK Jr. Definitely, yeah, they they think that he's alive.
Cool.
This is fantastic. It's got my juices.
It's
moving.
powerful stuff.
Yeah.
I've got a document on my phone that is just stuff my parents tell me.
We need to talk about.
I think it's like
we might just need to have your parents on.
That's a pretty exciting idea.
I think it's a really good idea.
I like that.
I'll just cede my spot and just let you talk to your parents. No, you might need a third party, actually,
Yeah,
now that I'm thinking
I'd like
about
that.
it. Yeah.
So the octopus is under ice in Antarctica.
Uh-huh.
It's codenamed either Object or Item 86.
Uh-huh.
And that might be us trying to remember what it was, because I've also got in parentheses Organism 46B.
Okay. Well,
So that might
you'll
be the-
find it. I'm sure if you put in Russian octopus, also is killer spy.
Ralph, hang on, Ralph.
Yeah.
I just want to throw it out there. I did not say he is a spy. I don't want you to.
Oh,
get
you
your-
didn't say that?
No,
I said that?
No, Ralph came to the table with, "I hope this octopus is a fucking spy."
Right.
He's not in a James Bond tuxedo. Like, I can't promise you that Organism 46B is the Black Widow of cryptids. Like, I don't want to get your hopes up.
Yeah.
He's out there. But I don't know if he's in a black leather cat suit, like seducing senators.
Did they know if it's an octopus or if it's a squid, like giant squid?
Now, I think specifically it is an octopus.
Is it a little octopus like they throw on the ice at Red Wings games?
It's not. It's not
No.
that. It's a big.
It's a full size
It's a
one?
big, scary one.
Okay.
It's dangerous.
What if it was a little
Ralph.
one, though?
A little cute one.
Wouldn't that be better?
Guys, it's me,
As
the
a spy?
octopus. Tell me your state secrets.
That would make a better spy, though, don't you think?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ralph, a spy.
Since it is a
He really-
spy.
It's not a spy. I mean, but fuck, I haven't done the research yet. Maybe it is a spy.
Yeah. Well,
Now, a lot of octopuses do have like skin changing camouflage abilities. So
make it better to hide.
not just the color, but even the texture. So maybe it's a great big one that can disguise itself as like a Volkswagen.
We're just going to have to do the research, right?
We're gonna have to do the research.
Now I'm really excited to do this research. We should probably wrap this up and go to
Yeah.
Patreon, but you guys want to hear about the octopus that is not a spy?
I
We're gonna hook you up. We're gonna have to
cannot
talk about
make-
getting your parents on here too,
Okay, yeah.
and just like let them go.
I was gonna say, I would love to bring them on, but it's got to be in an understanding environment and like open minded.
I'm not gonna say any shit to your
I know,
parents.
Ralph. I know you won't, but I'm
I
they're
will
my
talk
family. I'm protecting
No.
them.
I'll talk shit about conspiracy theorists when they're not in the room because
My parents are lovely people.
I'm really just talking shit about the conspiracy, not the
Right.
people.
Right.
Because I think we can every one of us can believe something totally bonkers.
Yeah, something a little out there.
Yeah.
for sure.
But myself included. I just don't know what the bonkers thing is that I think.
Yeah. Yeah, you just
I
haven't
think
found
it's
it
totally
yet.
normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No.
Ralph, any final thoughts on Gamera versus Jiger?
Yeah, we watched a movie, didn't we?
We sure did.
No, I just think it's a really fun movie, and if you just want to put on a movie to watch a couple of big monsters fight, then this is a great one to put on.
You cannot go wrong with this.
Right, and that's what it's for. It serves the exact function that it was made to serve.
Hell yeah. And there's
Yeah.
something like respectable about that. It's
Oh,
not going
it's
to change
wonderful.
it's not going to change your life, but like it's a well-oiled machine. It's going to do this one thing and it's going to do it fucking rad.
Yes, and yep, that I would suggest watching this at some point in your life. Like if you have people over or something like that,
Yes.
just put it on. If you don't want something too heady,
Yep. This is
great.
This is a party kaiju movie for
Yep.
sure. There's some that you can throw on and just have a good fucking time.
yeah.
Ralph, I want to pitch something to you.
Okay.
You can shoot this down. I pointedly did not talk to you about this prior to.
Oh boy.
It's I was being too dramatic. What if we watched and reviewed all the other Gamera movies kind of in order?
What order are we reviewing them in now?
Well, we're not.
Oh.
We're just jumping around because I like to jump around. But I was thinking about, so we're kind of a monster and kaiju focused podcast. Like we take our detours into cryptids and stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna take a lot of detours.
Some deep.
No deep tours. No deep tours, man.
You know who took a deep tour?
No.
Those two boys.
Oh.
They took the deepest tour.
Damn it.
Up in them goods. Well, I was just thinking about, because we're not the only monster podcast on the block. There's a couple others out there.
No.
And one thing I noticed is that a lot of them will go. Their shtick is we're going to do the whole Godzilla catalog front to back. And I've seen that in a couple different places, like Godzilla 1 through 35. And I'm like, hey man, Gamera doesn't get any love. Like there's no, as far as I know, there's not like the Gamera cast or the Gamera boys where we're gonna watch. There's only like 11 of them.
Well, that might not be a bad idea. I guess we're.
I just want to throw that out there. You don't have to say yay or nay definitively right now, but
I think that'd be fun. I think we should do our detours too, because those are really fun to have.
Spice it up.
The Bigfoot episode was fun, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, and we've still got that zombie episode on the horizon.
We gotta make sure that people know it's not zombies. It's specifically the zombie boom that we sort of came up in. That is tapering off right now. Like just focusing on like, what is that? What does that mean to us as a culture? Because it really, I feel like it permeated everything this time. Like maybe they were just cool movies the first time the zombies were popular with Night of the Living Dead and through the 70s a little bit. But like this time it's like it really meant something.
They fully went mainstream.
Fully mainstream. Yeah. Like they had books that everybody read. They had TV shows.
Walking Dead's still going. Yeah.
Walking Dead is still going. Last I heard, like 4 years ago, no one was watching it, but it seems like people are still watching it, right?
Somebody is.
Yeah.
There was so much merch, and there still is to an extent, but I remember, like, you'd go into a gift store and there'd be, like, zombie gum, like, just random bullshit. There was a line, it might even still exist, there was a line of Nerf guns that were, like, Zombie Force.
Right.
And they were actually, they were pretty fucking
They were really cool, yeah.
Those were dope.
I took a good look at those.
Have a little foam chainsaw on the end and shit. But it's just this interesting slice of pop culture history where, like, one thing we were talking about specifically is, like, everyone in our demographic had at any house party, you had at some point the conversation would turn to what would you do during the zombie apocalypse, and everybody had their fun answer.
You had your strategy, like what kind of weapon would you use, where would you hide out. So I want to dive into that, and I want to dive into just a lot of things surrounding that. We talked a lot about this the other day.
Yeah,
we were eating ice cream and just talking about what to do with the podcast, and I'm really excited for that one because plenty of people talked about zombies, but I feel like just talking about this specific era is really fascinating to me because it really went to another level. Yeah. So,
looking at the why and what it means, what it says about us, is very tantalizing.
Right.
Again, the hobby anthropologist in me is like, oh
yeah, and
what's it mean?
The hobby political scientist in me.
Oh yeah.
So,
both will be sated.
You bet. So I guess look out for that.
Yeah,
we should probably wrap up, right?
We should.
Yeah. Okay.
I do love to ramble.
Yeah.
Speaking of zombies, real quick, I do want to hear everyone's zombie plan. So,
hell yeah!
Please jump in Discord.
We'll read them.
Yeah,
probably if they're good. If they don't suck.
Yeah, if they're not fucking whack.
Yeah.
Okay. Only good plans.
If you're one of the idiots who's gonna run after your dog every time it runs out into the zombie horde, what?
don't say that about Lefty.
Okay.
I need Lefty.
Oh,
He's my zombie
all right.
sniffing dog.
Off the rails quite a bit. So,
Gamera's the fucking best. Watch
Gamera's
some
sweet.
Gamera
Gamera's
movies.
sweet. You could check out Gamera.
Please.
Check out Us.
Oh, yeah. Ralph, did you think I was going to forget the thank yous?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I didn't. They're on my sheet.
Okay.
Okay?
Well,
I've got a sheet, guys. That's called Pre-Pro.
supposedly it keeps us on track.
Yeah. Everything we talked about was strictly scripted.
Right. Yeah.
That weird
Word for
bit
word.
about 10,000-pound monster Santa, that's on the sheet. Right here.
Okay.
Okay, it's real. Ralph,
What?
thank you for Harkzilla.
Oh, yeah. You're
That's
welcome.
our theme song. Ralph made
Our
it.
theme song. I still need to put that up on my Bandcamp, but when I do, there will be a link.
Hell yeah. But yeah, it's awesome, and thank you for like letting us use it.
Oh
It's-
yeah,
It's
well,
really
I
neat.
mean, you inspired it.
Aw.
Yeah.
I also want to thank you just for all of your technical wizardry, your
Oh, no
editing
problem.
and producing, and all the
It's what I love.
the beeps and boops that you do with your sliders and your buttons and your knobs
Mm-hmm.
and your tweakers.
Yep.
Yep. And I have to rethink our sexy and sophisticated patrons. Like Christ, all things are possible through you. I got Ralph with that one. Cha-ching.
Yep. Nothing
be
to
sure-
say.
Be sure to visit monstersconquertheworld.com for more monster-mashing kaiju insanity. I just put up the Godzilla King of the Monsters blog review. Well, not just put it up. End of June that went up. That's a big meaty read. If our podcast episode left you wanting a little more, I don't know, verbiage, insight, analysis, or just me fucking geeking out about like, they referenced the thing. You can follow us on Twitter at Monsters Conquer. You can join our Facebook group, facebook.com/monstersconquertheworld. It's Kaiju-Lai, Ralph. Have you ever heard of that?
I have.
Cool.
And we were gonna do zombies before this, and then we were like, oh wait,
Right.
we
should do some
Yeah,
kind of kaiju
right.
thing. But
Yeah.
speaking of that, the end of the month, the last Sunday here, the 28th, on the Facebook page, I'm going to do a little movie marathon. I'm pulling some stuff together so you
All
can
right.
tune in and watch some shit with us. Of course, monstersconquertheworld.com also has the open invite to the Discord, so you can jump in there and tell us your zombie survival plan, and we can punch holes in it and tell you that Lefty the dog has got to go.
Stupid. Just let the dog go.
Lefty's a liability.
He's gonna survive a lot better than you will.
Ooh, that's the real shit. Lefty's gonna make it.
Yeah.
Lefty doesn't need you. You're holding Lefty back.
Yep. You are.
Let him go.
You're holding him back right now. Set him free.
There's a wild dog problem in Detroit, Ralph. Please
It's
don't.
okay. I won't tell you to do that.
Ralph, you run Hellscape?
Yeah, we just released something by FDSDF. Check that out.
Yeah, dude. Ralph is also just extremely funny on Twitter. I was scrolling through
Stop.
tweets the other day, and you and my buddy Tim have you've locked into the Twitter comedy voice. Does that make sense?
It's
There's-
depression and anxiety.
Well, it's
I've really locked into that.
pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a type of tweet that I do not know how to do.
Mention pee a lot.
Okay.
You gotta
Piss, right?
mention pee and piss.
Yeah.
And you gotta mention poop and doo doo.
Well,
And then you have to
I can do that.
like act to other people like you don't really care what they're saying, but you kind
Yeah.
of do. Like you care
That's the
enough
part
to
I can't
engage
do.
with them, but you don't care enough to actually care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's too many layers. I can't go
Oh,
that
I know.
far down.
Yeah, it's totally galaxy brain type stuff.
I've got like 2 layers max. Well, did you enjoy this, the listener? I'm speaking to you, not you, Ralph. Shut up.
Critique us.
Shut up!
Critique us hard.
Yeah, we can take it. Hit us, daddy. But if you like what you hear, and you want to attain demonic superpowers like our patrons have, you can go to www.patreon.com/monstersconquer and become a patron. All patrons get cool Discord flair, and if you sign up for the $5 a month level, you get access to our VIP-only shadow episodes.
Which we're about to go to.
Oh yeah, we got one coming up. We got a juicy nug coming up here real quick. But if you can't become an official patron, you can still make a huge difference by subscribing to us on your favorite podcatcher. You can rate us on Apple Podcasts. You can share the podcast on social media, tell your friends, or you could go into a bathroom, shut the door, turn off the lights, and say, Goofy has a huge cock in the mirror 5 times.
We're going to talk about Goofy quite a bit in the future.
Oh, yeah. Did you read that article yet?
Not yet.
Okay. We'll save that. More Goofy is always coming down the pipes.
Always more Goofy on
We
this
can't
podcast.
escape it.
So, have a lovely day or night.
Or twilight?
Have a lovely
Daybreak.
I'm going with Twilight. Yeah.
The spookiest time of the day.
Onto the Patreon.
Onto the Patreon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.